Hi, EC4 friends. Welcome to another day of online learning. Let's begin our day with prayer to the Lord and thank Him for all He's given us. Please bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. I thank you for keeping all of us safe, and I ask that you bless our week and continue to watch over us. Bless my friends at home and bless my friends who are at school today. We thank you, Lord, and we lift up your name in praise by saying the prayer you taught the disciples to say in the Bible. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you for praying with me, friends. Good morning, friends. You may be thinking, wow, what is Miss Edwards wearing today? Well, today's a special day. And you may remember last year during this time at school, we had a big parade and dressed up. No, we're not able to do that today, but we can still celebrate a little. Today is Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. Now in Spanish, the number 5 is Cinco, and May is Mayo. So today is the celebration of Cinco de Mayo. Some people think, oh, is that Mexican Independence Day? No, that's not what it is. It's actually a celebration of a long time ago. There was a battle between the French and the Mexicans in Mexico, and Mexico won. Then this is their celebration of that battle. So we're going to talk about some Spanish numbers today, but first we're going to talk about some Spanish words. Now you might say, but Miss Edwards, I don't know how to speak Spanish. You will be surprised how much Spanish you know. So first I'm going to hold up a word, and then I'm going to hold up the picture, and bet you can guess what the word is. Here's my word, and it's something you eat, and it's a Spanish word. Did you guess it? Taco. Taco is Spanish. So when you say taco, you're actually speaking Spanish. Let's see. Here's my word. Now it starts with Q-U-E. In Spanish that says K. K. Queso. Now queso means cheese in Spanish. Now generally when you eat queso, you might eat it and it looks like this. So you have queso and chips at a restaurant, which means you have cheese and you dip your chips in the cheese. So queso is a Spanish word. My next word is this one. Starts with a B. It's something you eat. It is a, did you guess it? Burrito. Burrito. Is anybody getting hungry? Am I making you hungry? Now there's other things besides Spanish food words that we know. Here's a big word, and it's an animal that generally lives where it's hot, sometimes in the desert. When you think about it, what the word, it starts with an I. It's a type of lizard. It is an iguana. Iguana, and iguana is a Spanish word. I have another Spanish word that's an animal, and this is a wild animal, and I have a funny picture of one. Sometimes, some of you might have seen him on a cartoon. Yep, that's a Wile E. Coyote. The word is coyote in Spanish, coyote, but that's not really what a coyote looks like. It's just the one that chases the roadrunner on TV. This is what a coyote really looks like. So that's a coyote. It's kind of like a wild dog, but don't go up to pet him. And we have another animal, and this is one nobody really likes. He's an insect. An insect that might bite you and make you all itchy. Did you guess what it is? Starts with an M. It is a mosquito. Mosquito. Mosquito comes from the mosca, meaning a fly, but mosquito is a Spanish word. So if you can say mosquito, you're speaking Spanish. This word is somewhere where cowboys worked and lived. It was someplace that had cattle. And you might think, oh, little accident. You might think I know that word. It's ranch. But this is not the kind of ranch I'm talking about. Although we like to eat this ranch, it's not a Spanish word. This is a ranch. In Spanish, a rancho. And that's, if you can see, that's where it was kind of looked like a farm, but it also had cattle and horses and cowboys to help run it. So that's a Spanish word. I have another Spanish word that's a type of weather. A type of weather. And this type of weather makes a big funnel cloud that spins around and sometimes tears up houses and throws cars. Can you think of what it is? That's right. It is a tornado. It's Spanish tornado. But tornado, it comes from the Spanish word tornado. So you can say tornado, tornado. You also are speaking Spanish. Now, some Spanish words don't. We use them for one thing, and in Spanish, they use them for another. This word is papa. Now, some of you might call your dad or your grandpa papa. You might look like that, papa. But if you were in Mexico speaking Spanish, you actually just called your papa a potato. Because in Spanish, papa means potato. You might think papa, you think that for papa, but in Spanish, potato, you'd be calling your dad a potato. Maybe a couch potato. Okay, guys, and that's a little bit of our Spanish lesson today. Hi, friends. Welcome to Math Review with Miss Edwards. The first thing we're going to do this morning is review counting by fives. We're going to count from 5 to 100. I'm going to show you the numbers the first time, and the second time we're going to do it without the numbers. Are you ready? We're going to start right up here. Ready? Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Very good. Okay, let's see if we can do it a little faster without the numbers. Ready? Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Did you get them all the way? Good job. Now we're going to count by tens from 10 to 100. First with the numbers and then without the numbers. Ready? Go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Did you do it all? Okay. Let's do it a little faster without the numbers. You ready? Numbers down. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Did you know them all? Well, if you did, now I have a little bit of a challenge. Are you ready for the challenge? We are going to count by 100s all the way to 1,000. Now, it's just like counting by tens, except we're going to say hundreds. We can see the number in the hundreds place is the only thing that changes. Ready? We'll go slow first. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Does anybody know this big boy? Can you guess? 1,000. 1,000. If you got them all, good for you. And an extra challenge is, let's see if you can write the numbers by hundreds from 100 to 1,000. Your teacher would be really super impressed if you can do that. We're also going to focus today on the Forties family. The Forties family. Now you can see that I have the numbers in 2 different colors. That's because when we write words like the word May, that's a word, but it's made up of different letters, right? M-A-Y spells the word May. Now, 40 is a number, but it's made up of 2 digits, 4 and 0. The yellow numbers are in the tens place. That tells me there's 4 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40. Just like we counted by tens, and 0 ones. So let's go through the 40 family, and we're going to include 50 down here. Ready? Start with 40. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and this is 50. So you can see the digit in the tens place that tells us we have 4 tens doesn't change. The 4 is the same all the way. The digit in the ones place changes. We've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because really what this is 40 plus 0. 41 is 40 plus 1 is 41. 40 plus 2 is 42. 40 plus 3 is, that's right, 43. 40 plus 4 is 44. 40 plus 5 is 45. 40 plus 6 is 46. 40 plus 7 is 47. 40 plus 8 is 48. 40 plus 9 is 49. So while it's important that you know the names of the numbers and how to count them, it's also important that you understand what that number stands for. So you don't think, oh, this is just 4. No, it's 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. If I had marbles, I'd have 4 buckets, and each of them would have 10 marbles in it, and that would be 40. So we're going to talk a little bit more later about number conceptual meaning. Okay, friends, it's time to look at our worksheet for today. How many count, cut, and paste. Now, if you don't have your worksheet yet, you can follow along with me. Your mom or dad can print it out. If you don't have scissors or glue at home, that's okay, because you can just write the number in the blank. If you do have scissors and glue, go ahead and cut out all your numbers, and then we're going to go through how many is here. Now, this says count the numbers in each set, cut and paste the correct, or write the number in each box. Now, I don't want you at first to put your number finger there and start counting. I want you to use your eyes and your brain. Let's start with the cats. I want you to look at the cats, and just by looking at them, can you see how many are there? Did you guess correctly? Did you guess 3? There are. So if you have cut it out, you can go ahead and glue it there with your glue stick. If not, you can go ahead and write it in. Okay, now we're going to go down. Now this one should be pretty simple. There's a dog. How many dogs are there? Right, we can see that there's just 1 dog. So you're going to get your 1 or write your 1 and put it in the box. Now, how many fish are in this box? You know, interesting thing about the word fish, you can have 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, 4 fish, and it's still fish. Unlike cat, we have 1 cat, but 2 cats. We don't put an S on the end of fish. It's already plural. But how many fish? Did you guess 2? Then you are correct. So go ahead and put your 2 or write your 2 in the box. Now, this one up here, the dog food bowls, that's a little harder. But I want you to try to look with your eyes and count it in your head and see if you can come up with the right answer. You can count in your head. 1, 2. Just move your eyes and see if you can count how many. Do I have a guess? Mackenzie? You got it? Malachi? Did you guess 9? If you did, then you're correct. There are 9 dog food bowls. Now let's move down to the bones. This one also is a little bit harder. So I want you to use your eyes. And then if you can't get it with your eyes, you may go ahead and touch it with your fingers. When you touch it with your fingers, try to count it quietly in your head. See if you can keep the numbers straight. Did you guess 7? If you did, you are correct. Now the fish bowls are a little more simple. Look at the fish bowls and see if you can think about it in your head and think how many that you see. Do you see 4? You'd be wrong. There are 5. 5 fish bowls. Now up here at the top we have cat food bowls. You see we got a little cat there. So I want you to look with your eyes and see if you can count how many cat food bowls. Did you get 6? That's what I got. Now the dog food bowls are a little easier because there are less. Can you look at the dog food bowls quickly and decide how many there are? How many did you decide, Julian? Did you guess 4? Then you are correct. There are 4 dog food bowls. Now these are cans of fish food or containers of fish food. There's a little more of them, a little harder to count. If you can't do it in your head, go ahead and touch them. If you still can't figure it out, go ahead and read it out loud. Say it out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 cans of cat food. Now I want you to remember the first thing you should have done was to put your name at the top of your paper. Try to remember the lowercase letters under the dotted line. The only capital letter is the first letter. And when you're finished, if you want to go ahead and color it, yeah, it looks even better, doesn't it? Took me a long time to color that. And then take a picture and send it to your teacher. Okay, we are going to get ready for a lesson on subtraction. So if you're going to finish coloring, go ahead and do that. And you can pause the video and go ahead and get your subtraction by 10 paper. Before we start our subtraction paper, I need to talk to you a little bit about marking off. That's a skill that you will need in kindergarten, and it has to do with subtraction. This problem says 10 minus 4. And anytime we subtract, that means we're going to make a number smaller. We're starting with this big number. Let's see if Zoe had 10 cookies and she ate 4. How many are left? We know there's not going to be 10 because she ate 4 of them. But let's talk about marking off. Marking off helps us remember what we've already counted. So we're going to be counting circles on today's paper. And when you see the circle, when I say if I say to count, to mark off 4, you are just going to put a line through the circle. And that lets you know that you've already counted it. So this problem says 10 minus 4 equals, I want to know how many I have left. I'm starting with 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to subtract or mark off 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to count what I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I know that if Zoe had 10 cookies and she ate 4, she has 6 left because I marked off the ones that she ate. So that's what we're going to do today. So go ahead and get your subtraction from 10 sheet. If you don't have it, that's okay. You can just follow along. Voila. Okay, friends, so I want you to start by putting your name at the top. If you don't have your paper, maybe you can get a piece of paper and go ahead and write your name on there. We're going to look. This first problem says 10 minus 4. So we know he's got 10 balls, and let's say he dropped 4 of them. So we're going to mark off 4. Remember how I told you there's a circle, and you're going to mark it off. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've marked off 4. Let's see how many balls that he has left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that tells me that 10 minus 4 equals 6. Now let's look at this little boy. 10 minus 8. He has 10 balls and he dropped 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many weight balls are left that we didn't count? 1, 2. So there's 2. Okay, 10 minus 1. He's pretty good. He only dropped 1 of his balls. 1. So let's see how many we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 9. Now, I want you to do the next 3 on your own. You can see this little boy, 10 minus 3. So I want you to mark off 3 of the balls. 1, 2, 3. Now count the white ones that are left. How many are left? When you get answers, how many did you count? Did you count 7? If you did, you're correct. Now let's look at the next one. 10 minus 2. So take your crayon or pencil, whatever you have, and mark off 2 of the balls. 1, 2. Count how many you have left. Did you get 8? If you did, you're correct. And the last one on your own is 10 minus 5. Go ahead and mark off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now count the white balls that are left. How many are there? Did you count 5? If you did, you are correct. Okay, let's go ahead and look back down here. This little, oh, let me make sure you can see. This little boy dropped 9. 9. So we have to mark off 9 where we see the letter G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many were left? Just 1. Right, just 1. This next boy drop 6. 10 minus 6. Mark off 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many white ones are left? Did you count them? Did you get it, Jimmy? There are 4. And the last little boy, his problem is 10 minus 7. 10 balls, and we mark off 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many white ones are left? There are 3. Now, if this wasn't too hard for you, let's talk about a different part of this. We can see our problems. 10 minus 4 is 6. 10 minus 8 equals 2. 10 minus 1 equals 9. And one thing that we know is that addition is subtraction backwards. If I looked at this backwards, I could say 6 plus 4, 6, remember the big number in my head, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6 plus 4 equals 10. So you can look at it backwards. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 9 plus 1 equals 10. So when you're finished, if you want to color in the little boys, you can. Make sure your name is on there and your answers, and your teacher would love to see it if you can do that. All right, friends, we are going to get ready for story time. So go ahead and finish up with your math here, and I'll get our story ready. Welcome back, friends. Happy Cinco de Mayo, and welcome to another story time with Miss Edwards. Today's story is Tater's Swamp Fever. This was written and illustrated by Diane Shapley Box, and I actually, let me open the book for you, got to meet this author, and she signed the book to Miss Edwards' class Enjoy. And I actually have 2 friends here. This is Tater, and this is his friend Fred. Fred's a good friend, as you're going to find out. Fred the Frog was excited as he ran to the street. He thought, today is the day our book club will meet. I have a new book I will share with my friends. I will read the story and see how it ends. Isn't that kind of the best part, how the story ends? Make sure you don't have a glare. Fred sat with his friends under a large apple tree. He read about a turtle that swam in the sea. Cabot the rabbit listened to Fred read his book. Purdy the birdie flew close to get a good look. Because friends like to share books, right? It's fun to read to each other. Now there's his friend Tater. Fred would always ask Tater the Gator to go. However, Fred's pal Tater would always say no. Reading books is not for me. I have no need at all. Everything I need to know, I learned when I was small. Now, you're kind of small. Do you think you know everything you need to know already? I didn't think so. Let's see if we can turn the page. Uh-oh. Tater looks like something's upset him. At the book club meeting, they heard Tater cry, "Boo-hoo! My mom is really sick with the alligator flu." Cabot looked at Purdy, and Purdy looked at Fred. They ran to comfort Tater, though not a word was said. If one of your friends is really upset, can you make them feel better without saying any words? Maybe you patted him on the back, or gave him a hug, or just stood by him. Just sometimes you don't need to say anything. Tater's friends gave him a hug, then jumped into his car. Tater knew the way to go and knew it would be far. They traveled to the swamplands where Tater's mom calls home. They traveled to a place where the alligators roam. Where do you think the alligators roam? Do you think maybe a swamp? They drove until the ground changed from dry to soggy. In the swamp, they found Tater's mom tired, sad, and groggy. Do you know what groggy means? It means you're kind of tired and you're kind of, oh, I'm tired. Tater knelt by his mom and patted her on the cheek. She tried to say hello, but her voice was just too weak. She was really sick. What do you think she needs? Medicine? A doctor? Let's see. Fred said, "We need a doctor to tell us what to do." Crabbit pointed to a sign that read, "Doctor Fix You." Purdy flew to the door where she knocked. Bang, bang, bang. Out came a white alligator with one crooked fang. You see his crooked fang? His tooth. The rare alligator said, "Please come inside." Entering his office, their eyes opened wide. The friends had never seen so many books before. Books were stacked to the ceiling and scattered on the floor. Now, why do you think a doctor has so many books? There's so many things that can go wrong, right? He needs to know all kinds of things. Do you know why they called him rare? If something is rare, it means there's not very many of them. And he's a white alligator. Sometimes we call that albino. And they're very rare. The wise alligator knew Tater's mom was sick. Her fever was too high and her ankles were too thick. He blew dust off a book and handed it to Tater. The title on the cover read, "Cures for a Gator." Now, do you know what a cure is? If something's wrong with you, a cure is what fixes you. It's like the medicine. Fred flipped through the pages and he read what to do. "To help your mother," Fred said, "we must make a stew. The ingredients we need are listed in this book. The swampland is the place we will need to look." Now, a stew is kind of like a soup. You put a bunch of different things in it and cook it together. A branch from a mangrove tree was first on the list. Fred grabbed onto a branch, then gave the limb a twist. He noticed eyes gleaming in the murky swamp below. Tater broke the branch off and said, "We better go." You see the eyes of other alligators in the water? The friends returned to Tater's mom's little water shack. Tater's mom was too sick to notice they were back. Fred said, "We must start a fire and make it really hot. We will put everything we found into a great big pot." So they're getting ready to make the stew to make Tater's mom better. The stew is finally ready. In the afternoon, Tater gave his mom a taste with a wooden spoon. We can see she still doesn't look like she feels really good, does she? You can see Tater and Fred over here too. Tater's mom slept after she ate her special stew. When she awoke, she said, "I feel as good as new. Thank you all for helping me and all that you have done. Now I can dance a gator dance with my gator son." And we can see she looks a lot better. She's all green now, isn't she? Yeah. And look at Tater. He's reading a book called How to Dance. So maybe now he likes books. Now Tater loves to meet with his book club friends. He likes to read a book and find out how it ends. Tater knows reading is important after all. Books are fun to read whether you are big or small. Because I know Miss Edwards likes to read books. And I know some of y'all like to read books too. Now this book has a special section for people who like to know just a little bit more. And these are swamp fun facts. Now this one over here says, the temperature before an egg is hatched determines the sex of an alligator, whether it's a boy or a girl. If the nest is above 93 degrees, the babies will be boys. Below 86 degrees, the babies will be girls. And temperatures in between will hatch both boy and girl alligators. Well, that's kind of neat. I did not know that. Years ago, it was common to use Spanish moss to fill mattresses and couches. Now, the moss is what grows in the swamp. Albino alligators cannot go out in the sun because their skin will burn. So I guess they find that out probably the first time they go and it burns. An alligator can go through 2,000 to 3,000 teeth in a lifetime because when an alligator breaks a tooth off, it grows back. Now, I know that happens with kids too, but alligators can lose their teeth over and over and over, not just 2 sets. Snakes have no eyelids. They have a thin coat of skin that covers their eyes. Snakes shed their skin several times a year. I'm glad I don't do that. Egrets can sometimes be seen perched on top of alligators. Wow. So they're like symbiote friends. They're kind of there, but they don't eat each other. Well, thank you for joining me for story time today, friends. And make sure you do your work. Thanks for working. Have a great afternoon. And remember, let's see. All your teachers, we love you and we miss you. And we cannot wait till we're all together again. Bye, friends. Have a great evening.